Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jannis. I am a physician training in neurology in Germany. And on this channel we are talking about strategies and tricks for studying and for teaching others in the world what we learned. In today's video I will talk about the 4 favorite things that I discovered in this month of February. And the idea for this video came from a video cutting course that I'm taking right now. And this course is created by Ali Abdaal. I'll link to his YouTube channel and his course on Skillshare in the video description below. In this course, he takes us through the steps of editing a video in Final Cut Pro. And as an example video to follow along with the editing steps, we have the task of recording this 4 monthly favorite video. So my 4 monthly favorites are the new MacBook Air with the M1 processor, then second the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite, then third the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus microphone for recording, for example, YouTube videos, and then fourth it's a book which I am reading on my Kindle right now. It's the 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem by Nathaniel Branden. So let's go into each of them. My first and biggest favorite by far is the MacBook Air with the M1 processor. Up to last week I have always been using Windows computers all my life, and I was quite a Windows fanboy. I had a really nice laptop. Let me fetch it for you. This was my Windows laptop that I used before, the Lenovo IdeaPad 720S, which is really nice, which I really liked, but especially the graphics component is extremely slow, and so for cutting, editing videos, this is of no use. So now for the past few days I've been trying the new MacBook Air with the M1 processor, and I expected the transition from Windows to Mac to be much more difficult. I was surprised to see that it is quite intuitive. I'm struggling with some keyboard shortcut combinations that are different, but other than that, and except for that it only has 2 USB ports, but I bought an adapter for that. And other than that, it's quite easy, the transition, and I really have to say that I love the quality of the laptop itself and of the trackpad, the keyboard, and I'm also starting to like the quality of the software, but still getting into that. So my impression is that I should probably have switched to Mac long time ago. I'm trying Final Cut Pro now as I'm doing this video cutting course for this video, so only then can I really judge how fast the processor and the graphic units of this MacBook Air really are, but they are supposed to be amazing, so I hope this holds true. My second favorite for the month of February is something that is really not that new, but it's new in my world, and it's the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite. I have until this day always been reading from real hardcover books because I like the haptic feel of the book and the smell, but I came to the realization that reading with that is very inefficient, because for one part, you always have to carry the books around, and then I used to do a lot of marking of the text with a text marker and then never look into the book again. So all those marks and remarks were kind of lost to me. And I like the function of the Amazon Kindle that you can mark the text and then export it to the MacBook, and thus then work with the marked passages of text that you used. And so this is very light, the reading is very comfortable. So far I've read 1 book from cover to cover already last night, and I'll continue reading on this and probably stick to this and not use much of the real paper books anymore. And we'll come back to this for the 4th favorite, but for the 3rd one I'll come to my microphone for recording this video, and this is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. I'll switch to another microphone for reviewing this. So this is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus, which I just received yesterday, and I already fell in love with it and recorded some videos with it. What I was using before was, which I now connected, the old Texter microphone, and for one, I think you can hear that this makes for much nicer sound quality, and it also has some other nice functions. The easiest, simplest, and still most important one for me is especially that it automatically switches on and off when it is connected to the camera. For the other microphones, most other microphones that are available in this price league, and they need to be switched off and on manually, which leads to often recording videos with forgetting to turn the microphone on, and then after that forgetting to switch it off, which leads to empty batteries. So this is very frustrating, and this one does a much better job. If you want to see a more in-depth unpacking and review for this video, you can click over here. And otherwise, let's continue with the next favorite. It is a book that I started reading on my Kindle. It's The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, written by Dr. Nathaniel Branden, who is a now deceased psychotherapist from the US, and he was associated with Ayn Rand, who founded the philosophy of objectivism, which I would summarize in one sentence, which for sure will not do justice, comes down to everyone taking responsibility for themselves and for their own lives. And this philosophy of objectivism seems to have a lot of benefits, but also a lot of hazards. So it's kind of incomplete. And Nathaniel Branden, who was a former associate of Ayn Rand, he gives nice interpretations and guidance what to take from the philosophy. And he especially was a specialist in the topic of self-esteem, which is a topic that I find quite interesting, and so he wrote his biggest work, The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, about this topic. And the 6 pillars that, according to Nathaniel Branden, a healthy self-esteem is based upon are: 1. The practice of living consciously; 2. The practice of self-acceptance; 3. The practice of self-responsibility; 4. The practice of self-assertiveness; 5. The practice of living purposefully; and 6. The practice of personal integrity. So I'm not quite done reading this book, but it's very intriguing, and so it's my 4th favorite of the month. Once I am done, I will create a video summary and with the main takeaways that I got from this book. And if you remember from the beginning of this video, the task that I am actually recording this video for is for then editing it in the Final Cut Pro video editing course that Ali Abdaal provides on Skillshare. I will do this right now, and once I'm done editing this video and completing the whole Final Cut Pro video editing course, I will provide a review to his course right here. If you're interested, you can continue watching there. Thanks for watching, and see you later.